Hey everyone, Gene here from Mahalo.com. When it comes to color correction in photography, there's no more widely used panel than the Adjustments panel. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you all the basics. When we start talking about color correction later in this series, we're going to need a basic understanding of the Adjustments panel. If you don't see the Adjustments panel in any of these tabs, simply go up to the Window menu and make sure the Adjustments option is checked. Alright, so let's get started. There's basically three main sections in the Adjustments panel, and all of them are going to take you to the same place. Each one of them, when you select it, is going to create a new layer on top of whichever layer you have selected in the Layers panel. So we're just going to select the topmost layer because in this case I want to correct the entire image. The three main areas are the icons, which are all right here, the presets, and then the menu. Now again, each one of these is going to create a new layer, and everything in the menu corresponds to something over here in the icons. For the most part, you're just going to click on the icon that you'd like to use. For now, I'm just going to click on the curves icon. And as I mentioned, that brings up a brand new layer. And where the adjustments options were, now we see the settings for the curves layer that we just created. I'm not going to talk too much about the curves adjustments themselves at this point, but just know that all of the adjustment layers basically work in the same fashion. Select a layer in the Layers panel, and then select an icon for whatever adjustments you want to use, and then those settings will pop up right here in the Adjustments panel. The great thing about using the Adjustments panel itself is that anything that we do is going to create a new layer, so we can really feel free to experiment here because this is what we call non-destructive editing. And by non-destructive, it means we're not actually changing the original image. Everything that we do is on this layer, and at any time if we decide that we don't want that option anymore, we can simply either shut off the layer or delete the layer entirely, and all of our changes will go away. The other great thing is that if you select an adjustment layer, then you can make further changes to it later down the road. So right here I just reselected the curves adjustment, and it popped up the curve settings in the Adjustments panel, and now I can change it again. And we'll have something different than what we had before. Again, if I don't like that, I can hide the curves layer or delete it entirely. If you don't have an adjustment layer selected, then that's just going to bring up the original Adjustments panel with your icons, your presets, and your menus. Last thing I want to talk about real quick is I want to talk about the presets. Now, what these are going to do is there are only 7 of the tools that come with presets. These are commonly used adjustments. For example, if we go to curves and we select color negative, then essentially that's going to give us opposite colors of whatever we're looking at. So I'm just going to click on that real quick, and you'll see that it makes a brand new layer, and we've now inverted all of the colors that were here previously. So all of the greens are now purple, all of the blues are now red. Everything is essentially its opposite on the color wheel. We can further adjust these settings in the Adjustments panel and come up with something brand new. And again, as always, if we don't like it, we can simply shut it off or delete it. Well, that's all for now. Please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe below, and send any questions that you might have to requests@mahalo.com. Thanks for watching.